Josh, have you used incognito mode?
Yeah, I use it sometimes to look at Reddit or something like
Oh,
that.
okay. What
Yeah,
kind of Reddit are you looking at?
like home stuff,
Oh
things I
my
don't want on my Google
god.
search.
Sure. All things you don't want on Google search.
Yeah. Just because it's like
Well,
it goes into the algorithm.
it doesn't matter because apparently Google has been snooping in on your incognito
Oh my
searches.
god, that's crazy.
And this has all been brought to light by a $5 billion lawsuit by some plaintiffs alleging slash I guess confirming that Google was snooping in on their alleged incognito search bar or search browser.
Yeah, I always thought incognito was always like the safer option. Just because I didn't want things to go into like my feed if I'm looking at what am I gonna make for dinner today. It's like I don't want that in like my
Your
previously
algorithm?
searched, or else they're gonna constantly feed me HelloFresh.
Well, too bad. They've been doing this
Oh my god.
because they were taking all that data from incognito mode and other browsers who have incognito mode similarities. You know, like other browsers have like similar things to incognito mode, right?
Yeah.
And Google was apparently sending a separate request to these browsers to then get their information as well.
Oh, that's
So it doesn't even
interesting.
matter that you were using Chrome or not using Chrome.
Oh, so it didn't like it's
Yeah.
essentially the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, so if you visited a Google with a incognito or like something similar, a private browsing like browser, they were still getting it all.
You know what? This makes sense because I've been doing a lot of shopping and just
Oh.
putting it in incognito mode because I didn't want it to go into the feed, and this makes sense because I've been getting fed a lot of like different brands, and I was like, huh, this is so weird. It's like I didn't have it in the Google
It's
search.
like, where
but
did it
yeah.
come from?
Yeah. Okay, this makes
So
sense.
there's like more information that's coming out, but it's a $5 billion lawsuit that was in the courts, and you know they're going out and saying like basically alleging that Google has been collecting all this private data, but also combining data to find out who you are.
Oh, so they're continuously making a profile about me.
Yes.
Yeah.
So effectively, they were taking data that comes in, and it's like, okay, you're browsing regularly, and you have like certain ways of browsing, and then you go into like incognito mode or into another website or whatever, and then they can still track you because like you still do similar things,
Oh,
and it still
okay.
builds on your profile even though you're doing something different.
That's crazy to think about. You know what, too? I've searched my like how what my height is in centimeters in private.
Oh.
And they have that data of me now. So
Of course.
they know exactly how tall I am and exactly what type of size I am for clothing.
Yeah, and I mean.
I search for weird things like that, like
Yeah,
because
I mean,
I'm
that's
shopping
normal.
for clothes, and I'm like,
Okay.
how tall am I? Okay.
I mean, hopefully you would know, but if you like this type of interesting content, make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and join us on this journey. So, if you stayed this long, here's some additional information about this. So, you would think like, where is this $5 billion going? So they tried to distribute the $5 billion among all of the like millions of Chrome users,
Really?
but that was denied. So
Yeah, that's a lot of people
so they were trying to get $5,000 per person or something like that.
per person.
Yeah,
That's
but
a lot of okay.
Yeah.
they can know how tall I am for $5,000. That's fine with me.
yeah, so that was denied though. So you're not going to get
Okay.
$5,000. We still have to figure out what the settlement was going to be, or like how people are going to get money. But additionally, there's some other things that I would want to talk about. Basically, the whole Google knowing your everything type thing. So as we all know, Google kind of like most websites tracks everything.
Yeah, that's true.
And the crazy one for me was like Google Maps and if you use an Android phone, it like knows where you've been.
Yeah, I don't use Google Maps, so they never know what I am. Never let them see your next move. I use Apple, so Apple knows my next move.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, I use an Android phone, so they have been tracking it, and it's kind of crazy because the level of detail that like, oh hey, we've noticed you went to this place. Could you give us a review of the place?
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it'll like ask like, oh, you've been here. Do you want to give a review? Oh, you went and like searched how to get to this place. How did we do on the drive?
That's crazy. I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
So like a lot of times it'll ask for like reviews of a place, like, or if they have like so Google has its own like review system as well.
Yeah, that's Google reviews. Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of times that's fed by Google reviewers.
Yeah.
So if you start doing that, it'll start feeding questions to people that have gone there, and like feeding questions of like other people on Google, like, oh, they want to know if they have vegan options, or does this place still open, you know?
Yeah, that's interesting. That is so interesting. I didn't think about that aspect of it, or them even like essentially
or you might
reaching
like
out
this
for
place,
like a survey or something like that.
Yeah, or like, oh, you might like this restaurant or something like that. They like also like suggest things as well. So yeah, we'd like to know your thoughts down below. Have you looked more into your like privacy on the internet? Obviously, like a lot of times, like the term privacy and internet can't go together. Like people want to say, like, I was like, oh, you know, like browse with us. It's all private. You know, it's not gonna be anywhere. But we all know that as soon as you're on the internet, it's like basically the Wild West.
Yeah, I did have one last thing actually thinking about this, because you had mentioned that Incognito wasn't like it's not private. It's
no.
Like, the thing is that from I think what I remember, if you're connected to like a Wi-Fi, people can still view that what sites you're going to. I'm not sure how accurate that is, but even if you're private.
Yes. Yeah. So for those of you who stayed this long, thanks for staying this long. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. But kind of more detail on that is that the fact that you're incognito doesn't mean that your traffic is encrypted. So basically what incognito mode is basically the browser sends a request that says don't track this person's stuff. Like it's like a hey, please don't do this.
But they can still do it.
But they can still do it if they wanted to. But the only way to basically become invisible of sorts
VPN
is to use like a VPN or something. And then even then you could still the real trick is that you need to use like a multi-hop VPN.
Oh.
Yeah.
I have actually heard about this for people, for
so
people
like
wanting to be safe.
If you want to be like extra like incognito, you need to use a VPN. And then even in the VPN, make sure to use multi-hop.
Yes, and if you stayed this long, make sure to hit that subscribe button and let us know what you have searched up in incognito.
Yeah. For those of you who stayed to the end, make sure to always use a VPN when you're going out and using public Wi-Fi. Because that is like the major thing. So if you stay this long, you get that tidbit. Like really though, because you don't know who's watching, and they can see everything you do. Yeah. So make sure never to do like banking or anything like private. Like you would actually want to keep private on there.
Yeah, that's actually really important. Thinking about it. Yeah. Okay. Let us know in the comments down below.